So, I will put some products because at the end, that's why we are here. So, you do not lose the focus. But I hope that it do not disturb your attention. So, first of all, warm welcome from my side, from Germany, from Kiefel, Germany. And I'd like to thank first for the speech, the guests in the morning, because it's always tough to make the second round. You have spoken a lot about sustainability, about legislation, and it means that we can focus now on the product. So I will take my presentation from the point where the recycling guys left, which would be assuming that we have recycled sheet, and what's going to come next, how to use this sheet. Yeah? Of course, virgin material we can use always, but I will not speak too much about the recyclability, how to do it and so on, because there are many specialists in this Congress. Okay. I think the video is not going to work here. So let's go to the next. Oh yes. This is just a short introduction, because this is all what we're going to speak about machines right now, so that you have an idea what Kiefel does. Kiefel is a traditional machine maker of Germany, and our core business is thermoforming. We do it since 1960 in different applications, not only packaging but also refrigerators. We also have machines for medical applications, and we also work with different materials, not only plastics, polymers, but also fiber thermoforming. So I will guide you through the next 50 minutes and to explore the Kiefel world and the packaging. So, I brought my glass ball, but what comes from it, I will explain you in the next slides. So, first priority is the environment. This stays in the focus of the thermoforming industry since a couple of years, not only now, but now with more, let's say, pressure. You see in the shelves, in the supermarkets, many different products popping up in the market, like the ones you see here, like bottles made of pulp thermoformed. But I'm not going to speak too much about this today because the time is limited, but the solution exists also with Kiefel. Basically, what drives, let's say how, like my colleagues already, or the other companies already spoke, let's say policies, guidelines, practice, standards, rules, regulations, yeah? And this will dictate the future of the packaging in many places. It means that sustainability and the practice will be different in many parts. Of course, in European environment there are more harmonization, let's say, but in other parts, like I'm working a lot in Africa, for example, the story is a little bit different. Nevertheless, we see, for us it's very clear that the plastic continues to be one of the main important raw materials, the polymers, for the food industry, simply because of the properties, and until 2020 is growing. And now comes then the next story, yeah? What's coming after the 2020, now we are in 2023. So, and I will show you a little bit of what happened in the last 2 to 3 years at Kiefel. We see the packaging. We divide it in the single-use, non-plastic, reusable, and plastic. Basically, it's a mix of solutions. So the development of Kiefel is driven in different, let's say, corners. Recycling of single-use plastic items up to 100%. This is one of the solutions. and that's what we have been speaking a lot in the first panel. The other solution from the machine point of view at Kiefel is the replacement of the single-use plastic with alternative materials. For us in the machine industry, the key word is flexibility. At the end, the customers stay in focus, and we deal with customers worldwide from different cultures, regions, and different requirements. So therefore, the flexibility is very important for us. The other front we are working is, of course, the reduction of the use of plastic. It means reduction of weight, optimization, design. We spoke a little bit of it. So a product to be correctly recyclable, it must be right designed since beginning. And the opposite is also true. It comes a little bit strange, but yes, we have projects where some customers ask us to develop through thermoforming solutions, for example, for the reusability of the thermoformed products, without, let's say, conflict with injection, because we don't want, there are different ways or processes to do the same product, and it must be evaluated case by case. After all, we have to rethink the product, rethink materials, and rethink tools and machines, the means for the production. In this way, we decided for the flexibility. We work with polymer, which is still one of the most important ones, but we open the front for different materials as well, depending on the availability of the resources in different parts of the world. Yeah? So we work with bio-based. It was one of the topics, one of the questions in the morning. And we also work with the fiber-based, so it means pulp, thermoformed cellulose. Circularity, there is no meaning if we don't work together. This has been spoken also in the morning. So it means we, as a machine maker, we contribute with part of it, but we are not the complete solution. We depend on the partnership also of others. For example, there are several, let's say, groups or entities working, developing different sectors, different solutions. For example, we are associated with the print CIC, for example, to reuse, let's say, films containing printed material, which for the recycling is not so easy. Or, for example, the Holy Grail, which is, I think, is one of the most interesting at the moment. Holy Grail, I will explain to you. Through the digital watermarks, it's possible to sort the packagings in the future in a more proper way. And we are right now in the last phase, in the pilot phase. We have been also working together with Nextloop. Nextloop is focused on the PP, post-consumer packaging and material recycling. So to make it viable, and let's say we have been doing several tests together. We have some good examples. And some projects worldwide, like bottle to tray or tray to tray. This is, we hope that it will increase in the future. You can see here in this video, this is what we call Holy Grail. So, basically, this is a true example of one of my packagings. If I'm right, it's a Tonha equipment, but it doesn't matter. Basically, through technology developed in the mold during the forming, we are able to sort the packaging trays or any packaging, plastic, polymer, in a very efficient way. We have done several tests, and without no ink, no printed, no nothing. It's poor material, and I will explain the next slide how it looks like. I hope it works. Let's see. So,
kinds of plastic the product is made of, and for example, whether the material is food safe or not.
So, in other words, I will make it simple. So, this is my colleague from the laboratory. This is what makes the difference between a traditional machine maker and a solution provider. Kiefel belongs to the solution provider. So we develop machines and we develop special solutions for our customers and for the applications. This is an example from one of our laboratories at Kiefel, Netherlands, where we are fully equipped with polymer, different types of equipment to make developments, and there we have also one of our expertise for the mold development. I have the samples with me, so I can show you later if you have interest in how it works. It's very simple, you can touch, you can see, so it's invisible to the eyesight, honestly, just if you touch, but very interesting. But for the machines, it's fully efficient and you can gather full information about the product, material, how it was made, when it was made, so it's going to simplify a lot the collection and to put this packaging back to the beginning of the process. Okay. Now that we spoke a little bit about collection sorting, well, there are very simple attitudes and projects that we are working right now. I think you have heard that PET is one of the, let's say, preferred materials due to the recycling capability. And that's true. Yeah? Many of our customers, they are converting, for example, right now, PP cups. And that's true. Yeah? Many of our customers, they are converting, for example, right now, PP cups to PET cups. And this has to be taken into consideration several factors, but this is a very simple example of how to make your product recyclable. Yeah? The next slide shows a little bit PP. Recyclability is developing, maybe not as fast as we wish, but our recycling colleagues who presented in the morning can maybe tell more. But we have tried, we have made some trials and products with fully recycled PP material in our R&D, mechanically recycled food safe. This test report has been submitted to the EFSA for approval, and we are waiting results. Another interesting project involving recycling are connected with the, let's say, the post-use and obsolete input stemmed from the maritime industry. And one of the example, for example, is the egg tray. For example, we have got, so we did some, let's say, tests and R&D tests and thermoforming tests with recycled polypropylene from fishing nets and hooks. Of course, not authorized for direct food contact, but as you can see, it's an egg tray. Egg tray, the egg by itself protects the food. So it's in this case being used mostly as a transport, let's say, packaging. So there is no real contact with the egg inside. But this is just one example. So there are a lot of things happening at the moment worldwide, and we are involved in many of them. Another possibility, now we spoke a little bit about weights and the increased weights and so on. So another possibility to see the product is to think out of the box. And what would be if you have the lids and you can reuse it? Yeah? So we have a lot of cups and coffee lids and so on. And many customers, they have asked us, okay, especially the ones who have already Kiefel equipment, they ask, do we have the right equipment? Can we increase and can we make a reusable product? We say yes. There are certain limitations, but it's fully possible. And here speaks again the design and the capability and the technical, let's say, capacity of the machine. But in our machines, in our case, yes. We have done lids up to 1.5 millimeters. fully reusable dishwashers, let's say, with very good speeds. And this is one more example of thermoforming. So, of course, this can be, there are also limitations, but this has to be analyzed case by case. Another interesting project we have been involved was the use of reusable cups, thermoformed. Yeah? And of course, this is a project we did in Asia, yeah? Which could be also an alternative for one of the solutions. Yeah? We have seen some markets in the US, for example, they were trying to implement the logistics and use reusable packagings. It means, at the end, we wanted to provide solutions for our customers, yeah? Thermoformers. And therefore, we have been investigating different ways, different products, and to make it possible and economically possible and interesting with the machines they have or for future investments. Another interesting application would be the PET, but in this case, a very special PET. And the PET, usually we use a lot due to the hot filling applications, we use a lot of PP. And the PP, as we have heard, at the moment is not so easy to recycle. It's developing, yeah? And PET seems to be easier than the PP. Then what we did, we developed a process where we can use the PET fully recyclable, but here we have to make one comment, not recyclable in the same streams like the normal PET, it cannot be mixed. Again, we come to the point, sorting, collection. Everybody will need to work together. But there are solutions, for example, for hot filling, up to 100 Celsius degree, for example, like you have today in the morning, your tea, yeah, quite hot. And this could be possible to use PET. And the PET, simply we need some additives, and we do what we call a kind of crystallization in the machine. So to increase the capacity of the material and still make it the forming possible, we use a different process. The same CPET, it can be also foamed. I wanted to catch the attention from one point. At the end of the day, the focus of the packaging are the customers. We are consumers. Yeah? So in the morning, I was arriving here in the Congress. I was just looking around, and I noticed, probably you have seen this cup. Everybody was using this cup in the morning. Yeah? No complaints. Yeah? I did as well. But for me, the interesting behavior was to see that most of the people, they were taking 2 cups, not 1 cup. I would say 80% of the people in this room. Instinct. It's hot. Yeah? And how to solve? So then my question is this the right product for such application? Maybe from the cost point of view, yes, but there are solutions. And one of the solutions would be a foamed cup, which I left in my table, no problem, but I can show you later. But basically, it's a foamed cup CPET, and this cup can, due to the density, so it can have many properties. So one is the temperature, so up to 100 degrees, and we can have also the benefit of the insulation, and it's fully recyclable, as long as we treat the recycling in the proper way. But this subject I will pass to the recycling guys, specialists. This is a task, and also for the, let's say, collection centers and so on. This is still many things to do.
Mr. Jorge, sorry, can we accelerate please a little bit because the time is...
Yes, but I'm finishing.
Thank you.
Okay, and then the process is a little bit, then we have another CPET application for hot applications, which would be also for the oven, replacing PP, traditional, and replace aluminum For example, CPET up to 200 degrees Celsius. Same work principle, crystallization done in thermoforming. I will skip the presentation, let's say the explanation. To finalize, all these possibilities, these are just a few of the examples of the Kiefel world in applications and products. We have 3 different machines, especially for the tray applications. Many size, different demands, different requirements, different outputs. Yeah. Then we have 2 capital machines for the cup business, different applications, also different size, different demands. The message is very simple. Fast developments in packaging industries are happening. Definitely, packaging remains important for the future to protect, increase the food shelf life and maintain freshness. That's the main target. Innovative solutions are available and multiplying. Kiefel will gladly support you with knowledge, equipment, technology. Just give you your product and we will make it sustainable and future-proof. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jorge.